The Zerg at the bottom left, a member of the team MVP. He holds them all together. He is
MVP 동래구.
There he is. The other Zerg at the top right of the map on the team oGs TL. He is
oGs TL 세잔느.
Cezanne is obviously, like we were saying earlier, the captain of oGs. He hasn't really been known for his results in the GSL, but his ZVZ is okay, and ZVZ, like we're saying in general, is the matchup where anything can happen. And to me, it just speaks, like I was saying, oGs is not comfortable sending out a Terran. They don't have a player they feel comfortable using. They don't want to use Huck. Huck's PVZ just isn't good enough, they don't think. They don't want to use Jinro, he's a Terran. They don't want to use Supernova or Top because the ZVT of Dongri-gu is just too good.
And we did see from the very beginning with the race breakdown that the majority of their team is Terran.
Exactly. That's actually a really good point. Yeah. I mean, I was making that point kind of indirectly, but I didn't really realize exactly what I was saying. You're just like, the majority of their team is Terrans. Yes,
this is what you mean.
This is what I mean, yes. So hatchery first going down here for Dongri-gu. At these positions, that is fairly risky. Now, as soon as this Overlord gets over here and sees that, Cezanne has seen it now. He knows what's going on. He's going to immediately make a Baneling Nest. When I say immediately, I mean as soon as he can afford it. Cannot deal with a hatch first without a Baneling Nest because, for one, your opponent can outproduce you in Zerglings if you don't make that Baneling Nest. He has 2 hatcheries. You have 1 hatchery. He has twice the production as you. Zerglings are cheap. You can overrun your opponent while he tries to take his natural. You have to have those Banelings to not only secure your natural, put pressure on, but to be able to deal with the Lings. You just can't have as many Lings as he does if he has 2 hatcheries and you only have 1. Simple math. It's like a 2-gate proxy trying to defend that with 1 gate. Not going to happen. 2 Zealots always beats 1.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. That gas seems to be going up very slowly for Cezanne. He's actually taken one of his drones off it, so we might not be seeing a Baneling. We actually see a hatchery himself.
That is a bold move.
Yeah.
Taking your own hatchery without getting a Baneling Nest means that if your opponent knows what you're doing, which he will in fact find out here pretty shortly, it's so hard to hold the Ling aggression that comes after that. It looks like the Spinecrawler may finish. It looks like it will. More Lings do pop out here. Cezanne is going to have Zergling speed first, which is very, very important. Both the Baneling Nests going up now, actually, for these guys.
There we go. So, Cezanne probably thinking he can't finish off Dongri-gu well enough with those Banelings, which is a good decision. Sometimes you do see that happening and you just get so far behind, it's not funny. And I kind of like his decision here. Yes, he will be slightly behind, but he did force that Spinecrawler. And he's forced a lot of Lings, so he could try and flip it into him being on the defensive, where he will have the advantage.
I agree 100%. 4 Banelings here on the way for Cezanne. Trying to find out exactly where he's morphing those. He's hiding them over here at the left side of the 3rd base. I guess you could call it a 3rd base. I don't think we'll ever see it become one. These Lings just poking forward, wanting to see the composition, wanting to see how many Banelings his opponent has made. Now these Banelings do come in. They have been spotted.
That Spinecrawler at the front's going to be very difficult, though. He will target fire down those Banelings. There we go. Oh!
Ooh.
He actually got the Spinecrawler, though. It did have a lot of damage on it from those Lings earlier.
Now, remember, when Banelings engage Zerglings, you want to split your Zerglings so that one Zergling fires on each Baneling exactly like that. That's what I was talking about earlier with making sure your mouse sensitivity is right, because if you mess it up, things get really hairy.
Oh!
That almost got really hairy. Here come
more
3
Banelings coming in.
Oh, a lot of Lings taken out, and he's made it into the main.
Not going to be able to kill anything with that,
one
but at least
Baneling
be frustrating.
Cannot kill any drones, but it can weaken a lot of them, and kills all the larvae, though. That's something a lot of people don't know about Banelings. That's why I'm surprised people don't do that more often. And 1 Zergling for 1 Baneling trade here as well. Cezanne doing a great job of trading with his Banelings. Back at home for him, he's actually gotten his worker count about even 28 to 27 with Dongri-gu in the lead. Both of these guys pretty much on even mining. Now the question becomes, who's going to take the Roach Warren first? The answer is Dongri-gu. So that Roach Warren has been started. The Roach Warren of Cezanne just starting now as well, but this time Cezanne is on the defensive. Yeah, Dongri-gu is getting aggressive here. The There's only one spine. It's going to come down to control for both these guys. This is going to be so intense.
Well, what he wants to try and do, he wants to get as many Banelings in there to take out Cezanne's.
Exactly.
And he's got to be careful at that. See the two coming out here.
That was so weird.
But the spine crawl is also going to be a big help as well. There's so many Banelings coming through. It looks like a great job so far, but just not getting it up. Oh, that was so close, but Cezanne definitely in the best spot.
Yeah, he actually lost three Banelings to one Queen. I think he missed micro just a little bit there. It really does come back to bite him a little bit. Now, drones being targeted down by these Speedlings here. Does take those drones out. Right now, Cezanne taking a 1 supply lead, 50 supply and 50 supply now. But the problem is here,
the two Banelings
exactly, he
you
needs to pull his drones. Oh no, these drones are getting trapped.
Didn't lose as many as he could have.
Yeah, he lost about 3 or 4 there.
We also have a lot of roaches in production now for Cezanne as well. So this is going to change the tide a little bit here.
Plus, Cezanne is now the one on the aggressive side.
But Dongreku does have 12 extra drones. Oh, he does lose half those Zerglings as they stream into the main. There's only that Queen. Nice around by the drones here for Dongreku. Might actually lose that Queen at the top, though.
Oh, he does lose that Queen. That is huge. That means so many less units, so many less drones, Zerglings, whatever he wants. He can't have as many as he wants now. Less larva popping out there. As far as the roach count goes, Cezanne 2 roaches up. And 2 roaches pop out for Dongreku. Both of these guys at 2 roaches. Now here's where things are going to get interesting. +1 missile attacks. Hold that thought. Baneling's going to try to trap these units. Nice control by Cezanne.
This is why I love ZVZ, man.
This is intense, man. Now, Cezanne is going for a faster lair, so he's going to get faster upgrades like roach speed. But his opponent is going for faster +1 missile attack.
Yep.
So missile attack, very, very important. One might argue more important than roach speed when the roach numbers are smaller. Because with roach versus speedling, it takes 2 shots with a +1 missile attack, 3 shots without it. And in the bigger roach numbers, that's when speed becomes important because you want to have most of your roaches firing. You want to get them into position faster. A lot of these units getting trapped here. Roaches do help out.
Cezanne is falling behind slightly in the supply as well as the drone count. He's only actually 2 behind. This seems to be Dongreku likes to do his drone round like about 30 seconds before Cezanne at the moment. But still, both these guys are catching up. And Aspire.
Cezanne going for Aspire. I don't know what to say about that. It's an interesting choice.
It's very risky because if you do get a very strong roach push, while they can't hit the mutas, they still take ages to die.
Exactly, and we'll hold that thought. Nice Banelings there. Does hold those off.
While we're saying that, though, there's a lot of spine crawlers going down at the front there for Cezanne.
Yeah, he's got 3 up already, 2 more on the way. He's going to have 5. But in my personal opinion, this is not the map to do this build on. That's what makes it unexpected, but it's a very, very short rush distance compared to other maps.
Yeah, looking at the units tab here, 23 to 4 roaches. This is very dangerous for Cezanne.
Yeah, you guys see that roach clump right there? That roach clump can end the game.
Yep.
And it's just going to grow.
And this
like
is
a
why
snowball.
going those mutas is very risky here.
Exactly.
He has 10 drones up as well, but these roaches, he has to survive these roaches.
In fact, he has to, and as soon as the Spire is scouted, he's going to attack. And in fact, he scouted those links that I noticed you only have 4 roaches. You know how many roaches I have? I have 31.
Yep.
I think
lots
that's a bigger
of
number.
being brought through because a lot of these times the roaches do clump up, doing the best he can. He's got a lot of spine crawlers there. He's trying to block that ramp to knock him up, and here we go.
Here
roaches
they come.
Coming forward.
I don't know if he's going to have enough to hold this. There are 7 spine crawlers out here. In fact, there are actually 8. Baneling's rolling in here doing a lot of damage, but will it be enough? More spines.
All these roaches are very low health, but he's just not going to have enough. The mutas are going to be coming, but like we were saying before, they don't do much damage at all. Ling follow up here as well. Cezanne has lost so many drones here. He will be able to clean up these roaches with the lings that have with the mutas that have come up.
There were a few lings as well. The drones even came in. He may come in here and target down the roach warren. Or he could do whatever he wants. He looks like he's going to go for the drones. The drones coming out, not engaging in a good concave. And I think this may be the end for Cezanne. Even though those mutas are going to clean up the roaches, he's lost so many drones.
Well, like we're saying, they just don't do anywhere near as much damage.
I mean, they're very weak units in small numbers. Roaches have a lot of armor. Back at the base of Dongreku, he started Spore Crawlers. He's probably going to get a Hydralisk Den pretty soon.
There's the
and
Hydra
there it
Den.
is.
But going back 16 drones to 41.
I think Dongreku may have done it, but he's not out of this yet. More mutas coming out here. 10 mutas, in fact. rolling over here. There are a few Spore Crawlers, but he's going to have to be very careful with how he controls these moves. But even so, he's going to find those weak spots where the Spore Crawlers aren't, or at least he's going to try to.
He's also getting +1 armor upgrade as well. Those Spore Crawlers positioned greatly. He's getting a couple of Overlords there, but now that those Hydras are out, he's going to be completely safe. This entire time, Cezanne really needs to just be droning, but he just doesn't have the lava to at the moment.
Exactly. 6 Hydralisks in production. When those Hydralisks finish, those Mutalisks just cannot be used anymore. Hydralisk range on the way, Roach speed. Dongrygu's doing everything he needs to do to seal the deal here.
Yep. His 30 supply up, most of that is in actual drones, getting all the upgrades he needs, Roach speed, Hydra range, getting a lot more Roaches as well.
Spine Crawlers going to be targeted down here maybe. Now, one thing we haven't really talked about is that actually there are only 2 Overlords out on the map for Dongrygu. That's another thing Mutas are great at doing. He's only got those 2 out there, and he's pulled the rest of his back. The Mutas just can't really do anything. There are just too many Spores now. Before there were kind of some weak spots. Now there's just too many. The Hydras are out.
Well, Cezanne's still only just now rebuilding his Queens. They're still on the way out. He's really lava-starved, so he hasn't been able to catch up in the drone can as quickly as he wanted to. And this is all just snowballing into him getting further and further behind.
What we're probably going to see here pretty soon is Dongrygu start to spread his creep. These Roaches have been found. I think they were sitting over there for a possible counterattack. I did see them over there. And he's going to lose all of them. Not a huge deal, but a small victory. He's also going to find this Overlord as well. That's pretty significant. 50 supply behind, though. Third base going down for Dongrygu. He even brought Hydras over there just to make sure that the Mutas wouldn't force the cancel. And catching some Lings here. This is looking really bad for Cezanne. He's going to try his best to catch up. He's making only drones, but he's still 17 drones behind. And here comes the deal sealing push.
Yep.
The Roaches getting on creep.
11 Roaches in production as well.
1-1 upgrades for Dongrygu versus no upgrades on those Roaches. The Hydras at the back having better range, just hitting the Roaches at the front that aren't even necessarily firing. Forces on. This could be game ending. The Muta's coming out, but it doesn't matter because there are too many Hydras. The Hydras are dancing. What is going on? It's just too much. Too much.
Yeah.
And he cleans them up. And that's going to be it. GG. Dongrygu brings MVP back, winning 4-3. I am impressed with this guy. I would love to be the guy in the audience getting the shirt right now that's about to happen, I think. Getting the well-deserved high fives. Great moves by Dongrygu. Played extremely well overall. I can't find any faults. And there's the shirt. Who's the lucky man or woman? I've seen that guy here. He actually comes to GSL a lot. I wish I knew what his name was, but he's a really nice guy. He comes to GSL all the time. Dongrygu! His fans are well-deserved. Now, Cezanne didn't play a bad game, but he used a risky strategy. It's a strategy that his opponent wouldn't have expected.
Well, even if he was about 20 seconds earlier, that probably could have changed the entire course of the battle there, and that's the risk of going for Mutas.
Absolutely. It's basically one of those strategies. It's like going Dark Templar, to where if it gets scouted or your opponent has the idea that you're doing, he can just kill you. If it doesn't get scouted, things can get a little bit hairy. And even if it does get scouted, you can kind of do something with them, but you can't do as much as you wanted to before. So it's like it's really similar to just finishing my DT analogy, man. I'm just like my adrenaline's pumping. It was such an exciting series. PvP DTs is like ZVZ Mutas in a way. It's a little bit less of an investment in ZVZ, but you got to remember the Spires 200, and the Mutas cost a ton. And if you can't do anything with them, they don't fight. I mean, they do fight, but they don't until you have like 20 of them. When you've got 10 Mutas and your opponent has 31 Roaches, things go kind of badly. Especially when those 10 Mutas are not even quite out by the time you kill the hatchery at the natural. That's it, guys, though.
I think we might be going to a coach interview.
Yeah, we might most likely be having a coach interview, and probably an interview with Dongrygu as well. Yep. So we'll be taking a look at that here pretty soon. But before that, I think we're going to take a look at today's match results. I hear the match results noise. I see it in the background over there on the stream. It's going to pop up on this screen. There it is. So obviously the STC took out Finale But then Monster came in and took him out. And Nada took out Monster and Keen, putting oGs just one win away from taking out MVP. But then Dongregu came in and changed everything. He made a fan out of me tonight and took out Nada, Hero, and Cezanne. I gotta say, if MC were here, things may have gone a little bit differently. But even so, if he took out Hero...
We talk about so much about his ZVT, but he's taken out one of each race right there.
He did. And multiple of Terrans. It's like one of each race. I mean, 3 Terrans. So...
That's right.
Well, 2 Terrans.
Well, they are 2-0 now in their league, taking wins over Slayers and oGs. MVP looking very strong.
Yeah.
Overall, both matches were 4-3 though, so there is definitely
room for improvement.
Yeah. For both sides.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I don't know how to say it exactly, but what I see in MVP is a team that grows up suddenly. You see that with a lot of individual players, and you saw it with Slayers. Well, hold that thought because we're gonna have an interview. I'll talk about it after.
출발합니다. 오늘 경기 정말 4대3까지 가는 접전 끝에 oGs 팀을 상대로 MVP 팀이 승리했는데요. 네, 최윤상 감독과 오늘의 MVP 박소 선수 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 네, MVP 선정된 거 진짜 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
왜 이렇게
Basically,
잘하는
saying congratulations, great
네,
job
정말
coming back from
정말
behind.
통쾌하고 아슬아슬한 역전승을 하셨는데 조금 마무리 같습니다. 소감 한 말씀
How do you
해주시죠.
feel?
시작이 조금 불안하기도 했는데 그래도 결과가 좋아서
In the beginning, I obviously felt a lot of
정말
pressure.
팀을 어떻게 보면 위기에서 구해내셨잖아요. 근데 아까 잠깐 봤는데 송현덕 선수 이기고 나서 표정이 엄청 좋으신 거예요. 기분이
So you
어땠어요?
kind of feel responsible for your team. You feel a
송현덕
sense of
선수가 이번 예전에
responsibility.
저를
Is that why you felt pressure?
떨어뜨린 선수였고 저는 무조건 절실한 코데이가 절실한 상황이었는데 그게 좌절감이 너무 컸고 또 슬럼프가 굉장히 크게 하는데 또 제가 스스로 연습을 해서 또 이 선수를 또 이기니까 또 기분이 좋네요.
네.
He said that
감독이
he's had some
이번
slumps in the
승리로
past, but he
이승을
really worked hard on his own and
1위로
he's improved
올라섰는데
significantly.
소감 한 말씀 해주시죠.
우선 팬분들한테
There's the MVP
감사드리고요.
coach.
그리고 열심히 해준 우리
Says,
선수들
well, first of all, I really appreciate all the fans
마지막까지
and the players who've done well for me.
지고 있어서 역전승할 줄 몰랐지만 그래도 박소 선수는 끝까지 믿고 있었어요.
We were losing and I felt really nervous, but
때까지는
Dongregu,
저희가 질 거란
was able to
생각은
finish it up,
그렇기 때문에
and indeed he did.
아마 다음부터도
So he feels
아마
he's
이런
really happy right
상황이라도
now.
아마
He feels great
선수들이
about the results
역전할
of
수
the match.
있다라는 그 자신감으로 아마 할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
네, 역시 신흥 강호 팀답습니다. 이번 시즌 그리고 초반 레이스가 엄청 좋은데요. 이 MVP 팀의 선정을 기원하고 있는
He
팬들에게
says even in the future
우선
rounds, these
팀
players are going to be able to come through
요즘엔 뭐
again and again for
신생
him.
강호 이렇게 뭐 신흥 강호 이렇게 불리고 있더라고요. 앞으로 명문이 될 수 있도록 더 많이 최선을 다하는 모습 보여드리겠습니다. 좋은 경기, 재밌는 경기 보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
네, 앞으로가 정말 기대되는 팀인 것
And the
같습니다.
usual will show
네, 저는
everyone
오늘
great games in the
여기까지
future.
오늘의 승리팀 MVP 팀과 만나봤고요. 이인환 캐스터 나와주시죠.
And I believe they will, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be interesting to see if we do see more depth a little bit to their lineup because Dongregu is a very strong counterpoint that they use a lot. And the downside to that is if he does get figured out and someone does be able to take him, it's very, very difficult for MVP to come back from that. So
That's actually a point I was going to make as well. But you and I are on like the same wavelength tonight, man. I wanted to also say, let me just talk about this like really quick. And when I say this, I mean this. You can see that TSL has got +3, MVP at +2 now. Slayers at -1, oGs-TL at -1, and Prime at -3. So you can kind of see how those are kind of stacking up right now. But that doesn't mean a whole lot yet because there's a lot more matches to come. F United obviously hasn't yet to play. What I was going to say is that right now in StarCraft 2, there's this problem with players and teams. And MVP is actually first now after today's results. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that really quick. What I'm trying to say is that there's this problem in StarCraft 2 right now where an individual player or a team does extremely well and then gets confident and then has a slump period. And I think what is different from MVP is that they are not going to do that.
of course, the matches for tomorrow are going to be FX Open versus NS Hoseo and IM versus Zenix coming up tomorrow for the Venus League. And of course, I believe they are going to be cast by Wolf and Torch.
Yep, that's true. So look forward to me and Torch. You know, things could get a little weird if I end up getting called to play against NS Hosa, but hopefully our plans go according to how we've arranged them, and that doesn't have to happen. We've got some specific strategies. I won't talk about that yet. Just tune in tomorrow. You'll find out what's going on. Obviously, Incredible Miracle versus Zenex will be a great match as well. 2 months ago, you would have looked at that match and said, Incredible Miracle 4-0, no big deal. Now, you look at that and you say, well, this could be pretty exciting. Zenex has improved a lot as a team. I was with them before they merged with Zenith, and I practiced with Nex all the time. And I have to even admit that back then they weren't that good, but now they're pretty good.
Yeah.
There's nothing
and of
else
course,
to say.
if anyone's wondering, Tastos is actually on a plane at the moment with Slayer's Box, so apparently the same plane, heading over to the NASL finals, so to cast that one, so it should be good.
Yeah, make sure you tune into that. Remember, guys, go to m.gomtv.net on your mobile phone, check out VODs, and we'll see you guys next time.